In this video, I want to show you how to clean and protect a motorcycle. In this tutorial, I'm using a degreaser, a non-greasy UV protectant. Something like this 303 can be used on basically anything and has very excellent UV protection. Some paper towels and some microfiber towels. A great time saver is a wheel stand. For the first step, since my bike hasn't been cleaned in a while and coated in a layer of dust, I'm going to do a quick spray off with a garden hose. I'm going to make sure and focus on the wheels, mainly on the bottom area. I don't want to get any water on the electronics or in the inside of the engine area behind the plastic, so I'm just going to focus on the bottom where most of the dirt is. To quickly blow off the water, I'm just going to use a leaf blower. With a motorcycle back inside, I'm going to put it on the wheel stand. That way I'll be able to rotate the rear wheel. To do this, I put the stand as close as possible, keeping the kickstand down just in case. I'm going to raise the bike. And if you have small lugs welded to the frame down here, I always keep the stand behind it. Otherwise, if it gets right here, it'll slide up and it gets wedged in and it's very difficult to remove the stand after that. So make sure and keep it behind those little lugs. So with it centered between the stand, I'm going to be applying pressure on the stand right here. This will keep the bike upright without having to touch it. And I'm going to just lock my arm and push down, and it'll just wedge itself up like this. Make sure the bike's secured, and I'm going to straighten out the wheel. I'm going to keep the kickstand down, again, just as a safety measure in case it falls. Next, I'm going to take my soap and heavily coat the entire bike. I'm going to focus on the bottom part and work my way up. This is what I'm going for. There's a heavy layer of the cleaner all over the bike, and I'm just going to let it sit right now, and it'll loosen up the dirt before I even have to touch it. See, it's all over the bike, including the plastics and the gauge. You don't want to be scrubbing on the dirt because it'll scratch up the paint, so I'm going to let the soap do the work for me. Once the soap has sat for a few minutes, I'm going to take my paper towels. I have two connected like this, and I just folded them. I'm going to fold them into quarters. Once a quarter gets dirty, you could just flip it over and have a clean paper towel to continue cleaning. So I'm going to start from the top and work my way down. I don't want to be getting all the dirt on the top. So I'm just going to use very light pressure and wipe away the dirt. When wiping the gauges, I'm going to fold to a very clean spot on the paper towel and use very light pressure. It's very easy to scratch the plastic here. If you scratch it with the dirt, it'll become very cloudy and it won't look good. So I'm going to quickly just wipe across using very light pressure. And dirt tends to collect up here quite a bit, so make sure and get that area up in the dash. For the front area, it's likely covered in bug guts, so I just go over this a couple times. You don't want to try to scrub it off because you'll just scratch the surface. So I just apply some more soap and let it sit. For any areas near the chain, they're likely coated in a heavy layer of grease mixed with dirt, so it becomes a very hard substance. It's hard to get off with just normal soap. So what I use is normal mineral spirits. This dissolves the grease and allows you to wipe away the dirt. Once you get to the wheels, I always spray them with some more soap just to make sure they're completely soaked. Cleaning the front wheel, make sure and cock it to the side. This gives you a lot more access to it. With the bike clean and dry, I'm going to switch to the protectant now, and I'm also going to switch to a microfiber towel to get into the corners. So make sure and wet your towel, and I'm going to mist the protectant all over the entire bike. You don't want to go too heavy on it because it'll just run. So I'm going to stay back and just really mist it on. When you get to the wheels, you don't have to be too careful about getting it on the drive part of the wheel, but just avoid it if you can. So I'm just gonna do something like this, put it on the rim as well as in here. You could go up a little bit right here. You could just look at the wear marks and go up to the wear marks, but no further. Next step, I'm going to take the motorcycle off the stand. Once the bike is off the wheel stand, I'm going to wheel it forward to expose the area that I couldn't reach before. So typically this section is inaccessible, as well as the area on the front wheel that was behind the fender. For these now exposed areas, I'm going to just wash and dry them and then put the protectant on them. Once you're for sure done spraying any protectant, it's time to clean the rotors just to get any residue off. So I'm not going to actually spray any of the soap on the bike. I'm going to just spray them on the paper towel. And just repeat this for all rotors on the bike. And now you should finally be done. Before you ride the bike aggressively, start out by going slowly and applying the brakes. This is just to burn off any residue that you might have gotten on the brake pads or might still be left on the rotor. And also take any curves very slowly when you're starting out in case you got any residue on the tires. Other than that, you should be good to go for a while. Thanks for watching.